I want to say a few words about the Asian American Luminary Awards, because I don't think anybody's mentioned it. It's the effort complementary to the CIE board. They decided that this is something that we should and must do for a very purpose, what you have witnessed. I mean, what we have seen, the talents we hear, and the values and the wisdom they share with each of us. And so I'm very fortunate to be the chair of the selection committee. And I want to thank my fellow committee members, Janice Zhang, currently Bellevue City Council member, and Yiming Wang for helping me to make not very tough, very easy selection. Because, it's just amazing how you people have been nominated. The challenge is that we Asian Americans, very shy. We don't nominate enough for us to make tough decisions. So remember, next year, next time, double the number, come with a lot of nominations, and I'm sure we can accommodate them. So this is just indeed amazing. As many of you mentioned, the theme is not just in technology. Many of us here, I want to just make a pitch. Many of us here gathered today work in technology, a rapidly growing segment of the economy. We talk about AI, VR, that's the future, and increasingly important in the world. Tech engineers of today will be the most important jobs of the future. Propelling innovation, that's the word we hear, right? Disruption, and we heard that from the awardees. What makes them successful is because they are disruptive and they innovate. They don't give up. And propelling innovation country as a whole forward, we as a group must capitalize on this opportunity for future generations, for the young people back there. I don't know why you're sitting back there. You should sit in front. For the future generation who will have a chance to be the leaders of the world they grow up in. A world where Asian Americans will have a level of political representation and engagement proportionate to their population. At this point, I want to point out, that's why we're so proud to honor Mayor Ed Lee. He's the consummate of engagement and political empowerment. In summary, we as a group are faced with the incredible opportunity to effect change in politics. Asian Americans must be willingly to participate in this process, gathering into groups and promoting issues that they care about. If not for themselves, then for their children. Political participation is important to the point that we cannot sit aside and ignore it. Technology, which is becoming increasingly relevant to our everyday lives, also can be a mechanism through which to organize and to rise to greater heights, the rising stars of the future. So at this time, since I talked last, I reserve the best for the last, which is, I'm very proud to invite Jonathan Sposato to come up, that he is a successful serial entrepreneur and investor in many, many startups. Jonathan is chairman and co-founder of GeekWire.com, one of the tech sector's top news sites, and chairman and founders of PicMonkey, the world's most fun and popular photo editor. He also has the distinct honor of being the first person to sell 2 companies to Google. He told me that Microsoft acted too slow, so they missed the boat. So anyway, the rest of it you can read from his bio in your program book. So I know Jonathan when he was still in his teens, so I went back a long way with him. He graduated from Whitman College. The rest is history. You can read about his accomplishment from the bio. What stands out, however, about him is his social entrepreneurship, his spirit, his commitment to innovation and to greater good of the community and things impacting people. talking about innovation and and so on, you can tell just by looking at him. His clothes, his dress with a pair of white pants. We're proud and congratulate him as a recipient of CIE's Entrepreneur Award. Thank you, Jonathan.
Thank you so much. That was a great, great introduction, but I feel the need to clarify a couple of things in this room. Two things, actually. The first clarification is, while it is true that Microsoft corporate development pre-Satya was quite slow on the draw, I want to absolutely make clear that I myself am a Microsoft alum, and my pride tonight, how I'm humbled tonight by being honored here is only underscored or amplified rather by the fact that I find myself surrounded by my fellow Microsoft alums. I too started out in Microsoft research. I started in '92, and I joke that I snuck in before they figured out that I didn't have a PhD. So, and then they kicked me out to work in a less smart team. That would be Xbox. So that was my career. But for the young students in the audience, I actually want to use that point to emphasize the importance of sneaking in where you don't belong. If you can sneak in where you don't belong and fake it till you make it, there's a secret to how you can make that happen, and I'm going to get to that. The second clarification I'd like to make tonight is, you see before you a Chinese guy, but why does he have an Italian last name, Sposato? I bet you were wondering that, so let me clarify that. I'm going to take you back in time to 1967. I was actually born to a single mom, a Chinese woman, who was struggling to make ends meet. She had fallen in love with a Korean-American doctor, and back in 1967, that was not allowed, and so the two of them could not get married. So I was raised by a single mom in the really, really bad part of Brooklyn that we did not have 2 dimes to rub together. And I'll tell you that I saw her actually struggle to make ends meet and earning 65 cents to every man's dollar. In fact, she couldn't afford to keep me, and so she sent me to Hong Kong to live with my grandparents, and they raised me, and I'm proud to be wearing my tie from Hong Kong's Rosary Hill Academy, which partly proves that I'm Chinese. And but I saw how hard she struggled to make ends meet, earning 65 cents every man's dollar. Sadly, in the year 2018, things are not really that much better for women. Women still earn only about 83 cents to every man's dollar. In the state of Washington, they do a little better, but if you're a woman of color, if you're a Latina, if you're Asian, if you're African American, you're kind of back down to about 67 cents for every dollar. And so I don't think that that's fair. Yet at the same time, women make incredible leaders. We've seen several of them tonight here. And some data that I believe needs to be on the front page of every newspaper is that if you add 3 women to your board of directors, if you're doing a startup, just adding 3 women is on average going to increase your profitability by 26%. Okay, so never mind. That's right. Never mind what the conversation in a boardroom might be, but but you're going to be more profitable on average. And so if you actually have greater than 33% women in your C-suite, people who are chief technology officers, people who are CMOs, people who are COOs, you also increase your profitability by something like 27%. Lastly, in a 12-year longitudinal study by the Boston trading firm Quantopian, it was found that they followed 80 female CEOs over the course of 12 years, and it was found that they outperformed their male CEO peers on the S&P 500 by 226% return on equity. And so that is something that we should really think about, and that is the reason why I have vowed to support having more women in positions of leadership and to only fund companies where you have at least 1 female co-founder. So throughout the years, and Conrad's right, he's actually known me, you've known me since I was 9 years old, and I was just this weird little kid with an Italian-American adopted father and a Chinese mother, and my English was rusty, and Winnie and Conrad really did an amazing job, really kind of modeling for me what a really successful Chinese-American family could look like here in North America. So I'm very honored that I could be here with you tonight, so thank you.